I thought I had life figured out. Decent house, steady job, wife who seemed happy enough. Then, life slaps you hard. I'm Ethan Brooks, and this is how my wife, Jessica Harper, dropped a divorce bomb on me. It was a regular Tuesday in our Austin kitchen. Jessica slid an envelope across the table like she was serving bad news with a side of smug. The chicken she cooked was dry as a desert. It matched our marriage perfectly. She stared at me, expecting tears or a tantrum. "I want a divorce," she said, voice sharp like a reality TV star. I didn't flinch. I grabbed a pen, signed the papers, and slid them back. Her face froze. She wanted drama, me begging to stay. I gave her nothing. Just a smirk and a quick exit. I knew her game. I'd smelled the affair for months, and I wasn't about to play her fool. I grabbed my jacket and walked out. The Austin night hit me with a chill. Jessica thought she'd won. She had no idea I was already planning my next move. Silence is a killer weapon. And I was just getting started. If you want to see how I turned her drama into my victory, hit like and subscribe. This story's about to get wild. The Austin air was cold, biting my skin like a bad decision. I walked past perfect lawns and quiet houses. My mind was blank, legs moving on autopilot. I ended up at a 7-Eleven, staring at Slurpees like they held life's answers. They didn't. I needed a plan, not sugar. Back home, I had packed light. 4 duffel bags, my laptop, and a lockbox hidden behind old coats. That box held papers for a rental property in East Austin. Jessica thought we'd sold it years ago. I hadn't told her it was still mine. Why spoil the fun? By morning, I was in an Airbnb downtown. It was a beige box with a couch that sagged like my self-esteem. The coffee maker was ancient, the air stale. I cracked a Lone Star beer and stared at the ceiling. No revelations came. Just a text from Megan Carter, Jessica's cousin. "Meet me at the Driscoll bar. 8 p.m. Got something juicy." Megan was sharp, not friendly. I spent the day wandering Austin's streets. Hipsters zipped by on scooters. Food trucks sold tacos I didn't eat. My mind kept replaying Jessica's clues. Late night calls in the garage. New perfume that screamed I'm trying too hard. Eye rolls when I suggested movie nights. I'd played the good husband, kept things calm. She'd wanted peace, or so she said. Now I knew better. The Driscoll bar was dark, all wood and secrets. Megan sat there, whiskey sour in hand, looking like a detective in a cheap novel. She slid a folder to me. "Read this," she said. "No small talk, just business." I opened it and saw my life's plot twist. Emails and texts between Jessica and Chad Wheeler. My old business partner. Jessica called me a snooze button in human form. Chad promised her a shiny new life. They'd been at it for months. All while I paid the bills. I took a sip of my IPA. Megan watched me, waiting for a meltdown. "You're not gonna smash something?" she asked. I grinned. Why wreck a bar when I can wreck their plans? She laughed, short and sharp. I was calm, but not clueless. Chad and I had built TechBit together. I handled the code, he handled the charm. He bailed when things got tough, leaving me to clean up. Now he was back, sneaking into my marriage. I tucked the folder under my arm. Game on. Megan leaned in. "Jessica thinks Chad's her ticket to the big leagues. He's pitching to your old investors." She smirked. "You still got their numbers, right?" I nodded, ideas sparking. I wasn't mad. I was focused, ready to move. I paid for Megan's drink and left. Back at the Airbnb, I spread the papers out. Each one was a piece of Jessica's betrayal. She thought she'd outplayed me. But I don't yell. I act, and I was just warming up. That folder was a loaded gun, and I wasn't about to waste the ammo. Back at my Airbnb, I cracked another beer and dug into Jessica and Chad's emails. She called me boring as a tax form. Chad promised penthouses and private jets. It was like a bad romance novel. Only, their fairy tale was about to crash. Chad wasn't just some fling. He was my ex-partner from TechBit, our old startup. I built the app, he sold the dream. Until he tried a shady side deal and bailed, claiming he was burned out. I bought him out, gave a toast at his goodbye party. He smirked like he'd won. Now he was back, charming my wife. The emails showed they'd planned to split our assets. Jessica thought she'd walk away rich. Chad was pitching a new app to investors I knew. His plan was flimsy, like a house built on toothpicks. I saw my opening. I texted Tyler Grant, an old investor Chad had screwed over. Heard Chad's pitching again. Same old tricks. "You in?" Tyler replied fast. "That jerk?" Tell me more. I sent him a quick note. Chad's app was recycled tech bit code, dressed up with buzzwords. His numbers were a mess. Tyler spread the word like wildfire. 2 investors pulled out by noon. Chad's pitch was sinking, and I hadn't lifted a finger. I leaned back, sipping coffee that tasted like dirt. Jessica thought she'd traded up for a rock star. She got a dud instead. I wasn't out for blood. Revenge is loud and messy. I wanted surgical, quiet chaos. Chad's history was his own worst enemy. Missed deadlines, shady deals, fudged reports. I just pointed the spotlight. The investors did the rest. Megan met me at a taco joint near Zilker Park. The air smelled like brisket and bad decisions. She stole a chip from my plate. Chad's pitch tanked, she said. Jessica's losing it. I munched a taco, playing it cool. Tough break, I said, grinning. She laughed. You're ice cold, Ethan. I respect it. I shrugged. Cold wasn't the word. I was calculated. Jessica thought she'd outsmarted me. But I knew her game better than she did. And I had more cards to play. I remembered TechBit's early days. Chad's charm won deals, but I kept things running. He'd flash his smile, make promises he couldn't keep. I'd clean up the mess. Now he was in my marriage, making the same empty promises. Not for long. Megan dropped another bomb. Jessica thinks she's getting the rental property in the divorce. I nearly choked on my taco. That East Austin property was my secret weapon. She had no idea I still own half. I thanked Megan and headed back to my Airbnb. The folder sat on my coffee table, a map of their betrayal. I didn't need to scream or fight. I had facts, contacts, and time. Jessica wanted a new life. I'd let her have it. But it wouldn't be the one she planned. Austin's a city of dreamers and schemers, and I was about to play the game better than Chad ever could. Tyler Grant was on a mission, whispering Chad's failures to every investor in town. By Friday, Chad's funding was toast. His app was dead before it launched. Jessica's texts started piling up, but I left them unread. Let her sweat. I wasn't just sitting back, though. I hit the streets, soaking in Austin's chaos. Dive bars with sticky floors, coffee shops full of laptop warriors. I tried Tinder, which was a disaster. One match wanted me to join her yoga cult. I deleted the app and stuck to beer. Megan texted me late one night. Check your email. Another gift. I opened it to find a new screenshot. Jessica's email to Chad, sent before the divorce papers. Ethan won't suspect a thing. We'll take the house and the rental property. My blood boiled, but I kept cool. That rental property was my ace. Jessica thought it was hers, sold off years ago. I'd kept my share, paying taxes from a secret account. She'd missed that detail, too busy plotting with Chad. I called my lawyer, Mike, a guy who looked like he lived in a briefcase but talked like a biker. Sell my share of the property, I told him. Quietly. Mike grinned. She's gonna lose her mind. I nodded. Jessica thought she was the mastermind. I was about to rewrite her ending. Mike got to work, and I kept the pressure on Chad. Tyler called with an update. Raj bailed on Chad's pitch. Says it's a scam. I smiled. Check his last venture. Same story. Raj spread the word, and another investor dropped out. Chad's dream was crumbling, and Jessica's new life was looking like a bad bet. I hit the White Horse Bar, where the jukebox played old country tunes. Megan showed up, stealing my fries. Jessica's freaking out, she said. Chad's ghosting her. I sipped my Shiner Bock. Sounds like their problem, I said. She laughed, shaking her head. I wasn't gloating, not really. But watching their plans implode felt good. Jessica thought I was the boring one. Now she was stuck with a guy who couldn't close a deal to save his life. I walked back to my Airbnb, the night air cool. I was in control now. The property sale was moving fast. Mike texted me updates. The buyer was ready, and Jessica wouldn't see a dime. She'd built her castle on lies. I was about to kick out the foundation. And I didn't need to say a word to do it. Jessica showed up at my Airbnb looking like she'd rehearsed for a soap opera. Her hair was perfect, eyes shiny with fake tears. I opened the door and leaned back, letting her make the first move. Ethan, can we talk? She asked, voice soft like she was selling something. I nodded, stepping aside. The room smelled like cheap coffee and freedom. She sat on my sagging couch, legs crossed like she owned the place. I screwed up, she said, looking for sympathy. Chad's a liar. I thought he was different. I grabbed a beer from the fridge and sat down, saying nothing. She fidgeted, nails clicking on the armrest. "I miss us," she said, eyes pleading. I almost laughed. Us? She meant the guy who paid the bills while she chased Chad's promises. I pulled out Megan's folder and slid it to her. "Take a look," I said, voice steady as a rock. She opened it, face going pale. The emails laid it all bare. Her calling me deadweight. Planning to take the house and property. Chad's empty promises. She looked up, voice shaking. "You knew?" I nodded. "Long enough. Why didn't you fight?" she asked, tears forming. I sipped my beer. "You wanted out. I let you go." Her face crumpled. She'd expected me to beg, to give her the drama she craved. I gave her silence instead. It hit harder than any words. She stood, clutching her purse. "I thought you'd try to keep me," she said, voice small. I leaned forward. "You made your choice, Jess. Live with it." She walked out, the door clicking shut behind her. I finished my beer, feeling lighter than ever. Megan texted me later. "She's a mess. Chad's gone radio silent." I didn't reply. Jessica had bet on the wrong horse, and now she was stuck in the mud. I wasn't her savior anymore. I was done playing that role. The Airbnb felt less like a cage now. I started packing for real, not just duffels but a proper suitcase. Seattle was waiting, a new job, a new life. Jessica's tears didn't change a thing. I was already moving on, and she was just a shadow fading behind me. I met Mike at Houndstooth Coffee, where the baristas acted like they invented caffeine. He slid papers across the table, grinning like a kid with a secret. "Your share of the rental property's sold," he said. "Cash is in your account. Jessica's got nothing." I stirred my latte, smirking. She thought she had me beat. The East Austin property was my secret weapon. Jessica thought it was hers, sold off years ago. I'd kept my half, handling taxes quietly. She'd been too busy with Chad to check the details. Mike finalized the divorce papers, clean and simple. No alimony, no fights. "You sure about giving her the house?" Mike asked. I nodded. "Let her have the memories. I'm done with them," he laughed, signing off the papers. The deal was done. Jessica's castle was crumbling, and I hadn't lifted a finger. Back at the Airbnb, I deleted another text from Jessica. Megan sent an update. Jessica was ranting about Chad to anyone who'd listen. He'd vanished, chasing new marks. I didn't care. My suitcase was packed, my ticket to Seattle booked. A new job at CodeWave awaited. CodeWave was a startup building AI tools. The role was senior, challenging, perfect. I wasn't running from Austin. I was running toward something better. I hit the white horse one last time, the jukebox playing Merle Haggard. Megan showed up, stealing my bourbon. "You're really leaving," she said, not asking. I nodded. "Seattle. New start." She raised her glass. "Jessica's losing it. Keeps asking why you didn't fight." I smirked. "Some fights you win by walking away." We toasted, the bourbon burning just right. I left the bar, the night air cool. The property money was my safety net. Jessica thought she'd won the divorce. She didn't know I'd already cashed out. I was free, ready for Seattle's rain and a life that didn't include her drama. Seattle hit me with rain and coffee that tasted like a revelation. My new apartment had a view of Puget Sound, windows that made my Austin Airbnb look like a cardboard box. CodeWave was my new home, a startup buzzing with ideas. I was building AI tools, not chasing ghosts. Life felt new, clean, like a fresh line of code. I settled in fast. Work by day, craft beer by night. I tried Tinder again, but Seattle's dating scene was wild. One date brought a ferret in her purse. I paid for her coffee and ran. Still, I was Ethan now, not Jessica's husband. Megan kept me posted. Jessica was stuck in Austin, scraping by without the property money. Chad was a pariah, his pitches laughed off. I didn't gloat. I was too busy. CodeWave's team was young, driven. I mentored a kid named Leo, all ideas and no filter. "You ever get screwed over?" Leo asked, after I fixed his buggy code. I laughed. "More than you know." I didn't spill the details. Work was my focus now, not the past. Seattle's rain was annoying, but it washed away the old weight. Jessica texted again. "I'm sorry. Can we talk?" I stared at the screen, then deleted it. Her words were noise, not signal. I was done answering. Megan texted later, "Jess is falling apart. Chad's not calling back." I smirked. Their problem, not mine. One night, I hit the Nest, a bar with killer IPAs. A woman named Claire sat next to me. She was a data scientist, funny, No ferrets. We talked code, movies, life. It wasn't love, but it was something. Seattle was my city now, and I was writing my own story. I'm in Seattle now, sipping a beer, staring at a city that doesn't know my past. I'm Ethan Brooks, the guy who walked away from a divorce bomb. Jessica thought she'd break me. She didn't. Her golden boy Chad? He's a fading star, broke and irrelevant. I didn't need to fight to win. It wasn't about revenge. Revenge is loud, messy. I chose silence, strategy. Jessica wanted drama, a big scene to feed her ego. I gave her nothing, and it hit harder than any argument. Sometimes, you win by letting them fall. I don't hate Jessica or Chad. They're just footnotes now. The rental property money funds my new project at CodeWave. Jessica's texts pile up, unread. I'm not her backup plan. I'm not her anything anymore. Seattle's wet, full of tech brothers, but it's mine. I've got a job I love, a view that makes mornings okay. Claire might be something, if I don't mess it up. Life's not perfect, but it's real. And I'm the one calling the shots. If you're stuck in drama, here's my advice. Don't scream. Don't beg. Just move. Find your city, your life. Let the people who hurt you deal with their own mess. I'm done looking back. I've got code to write, beers to drink, and a future to build. If you liked this story, smash that like button, share it, and subscribe. Want more tales of outsmarting the chaos? Hit that bell. Next time, I might spill about my ferret lady Tinder date. Stay tuned.